So today, we're sitting here with a very special guest. This is Michael Schwarz, a chef, a restaurateur, and the founder of the Genuine Hospitality Group. Michael is also a board member here at YMU, and we're very happy to have him in the studio. Welcome, Michael.
Happy to be here.
Thank you, Michael, for coming out.
Of course, of course. Give Miami Day, special day.
It is.
Got to get out there.
So I know you're from Philadelphia, and you came to Miami.
Yep.
Opened a bunch of restaurants.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? It's a new one every day.
That's the whole story. You said you stole my thunder.
No, but tell us the work you're doing here. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'll give you the background. I mean, I've been in Miami for 25, well, going on 26 years now.
Wow.
So when I moved down here, it was a lot different than it is now. You know, and I was attracted by the lifestyle and the sun and the weather, and I moved here from New York, originally from Philly, like you said, big music town. And growing up, I was influenced by a lot of the Philly style, you know, sounds. But you know, in Miami, it seemed like a good idea at the time, you know. And now I'm here. I'm pretty much rooted in this community. Through those 25 years, we opened a bunch of restaurants, closed some, had some ups and downs, but you know, I think landed here and made Miami my home, you know.
You mentioned Philly's music scene.
Yeah.
I'm from Philly too,
Ah.
and spent a good amount of time in New York, and,
Yep.
and those northeastern cities have a very particular music vibe. For you, I mean, you've been a great supporter of Young Musicians Unite.
Yeah.
You have a son who plays music.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, from your perspective, like, what role did music play in your life as you were growing up, and even now? Like, what does music mean to you?
Yeah, that's a great question, you know, and I think it has a profound impact on everyone's lives, whether they know it or not, you know, and so you know, I'm stuck in the house listening. My parents used to listen to things like Chicago.
Yeah.
That was a big, you know, Barry White.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you listen to that stuff, and you're subconsciously, you know, it does something to, I think, your development and your personality. So, but for me, you know, my son started playing the drums when he was like 3, I think. You know, he jumped up on our neighbor's drum kit right out of the pool, naked, 3-year-old, jumps up, you know, starts banging on the drums, and we're like, oh, that sounds good, you know, and so that was the start of his, you know, his music career. But I think the thing that sticks with me, and hopefully with other parents of musicians, is that we supported that. He was into it. We never made him play the drums. He just, you know, found something that made him feel good, and that he excelled at. And so, you know, so 14, 15 years later, he's still banging the drums.
So we get to work with your son all the time. He's an amazing musician, drummer. Grew
He's
up.
a goofball.
He's taller than me at this point,
Huge.
and I'm 6'2".
It's taller than everybody.
How did you hear about Young Musicians Unite, and what made you want to join the board and support us and champion us?
Yeah, well, I was made to join the board. I didn't really want to. I got pressured into it by a lot of people. I'm not going to mention names, but no, I think you know, it's funny because I talk about, and he's been with you guys, I think, for what, 5 years?
5 years. Yeah.
I think you found us. You know, he was playing music, and then this guy with the big afro came along and said, "Hey, we want your son to be in a band." And he was into it, and we had heard good things, you know. So 5 years ago, fast forward to now, what you've created with Young Musicians Unite is just nothing short of amazing. But at that time, it was just, you know, a chance for him to play with other musicians, and it really blossomed into an amazing experience, I think, for Harry. It gave him, you know, self-esteem and self-confidence and social skills and a little bit of discipline. I would say he's a little behind on the
here and there,
behind on the discipline thing, but you know, he's passionate about it, and that's what attracted me to want to get involved with YMU. Your passion and the people around you, I think that your passion is contagious, and people that feel that want to get involved and do good for the community. And you know, my whole life as a chef, I'm often asked to help charities, and that's how chefs really start to get exposed to the sort of philanthropic part of being, you know, in the restaurant community. And then you pick one that you like, and then you maybe do more work with them, and that's what this sort of turned into.
I want to ask you about that specifically. I mean, I know Harry plays the drums. I know music's important to you personally. And it's amazing that you support your son in the way that you do.
Yeah, I would say thank you. I want to pat myself on the back, because we lived with those damn drums in the living room for like 6 years until we figured out how to soundproof a room.
Remember we used to have rehearsals in that room?
Oh man,
in his bedroom.
Oh, man. But so thank you, because I do want a little bit of this interview to be about me.
I agree. And as somebody who started on the snare drum, I have to say there's a special place in heaven for the parents of drummers.
Yeah,
that's definitely true.
Thank you.
But that being said, I'm curious. You know, I know Harry's passionate about multiple things. I know that you're passionate about multiple things. Why music? Why do you think supporting an organization that provides free music education is something that you decided was worth your time? I mean, I know you've got many professional commitments. Why YMU? Why this cause?
Because what I realized about supporting music and music education, I realized through Harry and supporting his goal or his path, right? And how that made him feel, and how it made us want to support that, you know. And so that's sort of where it all nets out for me. You know, he's into it. So we're going to support that. And I think that for parents that aren't parents of musicians, it might be a little bit harder to make that connection, because it's not just about playing music. It's about the other things that come along with learning any skill or any profession, right? So discipline, creativity, camaraderie, working together as a team, commitment, all of those things, I think, is what, you know, attracted me to want to support the organization, because I saw what an effect it had on our son.
That's really awesome. So what would you say is the most important lesson you hope that Harry will take away from his time and his involvement with YMU?
Yeah, he's a goofball, man. I love him, though. He's the best. I don't know if he's watching right now. He might be. And he's like, oh, he's calling me a goofball. I think all the things that I just said, and him growing up and becoming a man and understanding that, you know, people rely on him to be there and do things, and so to show up and do the work, and you put the practice in and be responsible, and how that reflects in a performance and how it makes you feel at the end of the day. And that's, you know, that's what finding a passionate, you know, a passion around a profession or something that you're going to do for the long term or even the short term. That's the whole reason that we look for that.
Awesome. We love Harry. Harry plays in the rock ensemble, which is at a group at Miami Senior High that I was part of when I was growing up.
Yeah, great legacy there. And I had no idea, you know, and we live right around the corner from the high school. But you talk to people about the rock ensemble, and it goes back to what, the 70s?
1972.
Yeah.
First school rock band in American history.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
So I love it. I tell people that Harry's in the rock ensemble at Beach High. They're like, whoa, he must be good.
That's right.
He is. So now, only are you on the board, you're also a huge advocate for YMU. You serve on our host committee. You tell all your friends to donate. Why would you tell someone to donate to Young Musicians Unite?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you're not saving lives, right? It's not brain surgery, but I think it's hugely important. So why would I tell people to support it? I had a really good answer, and it just went out. But no, I don't know.
Can I save you for a second?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you just said it's not saving lives. And I would say, I think you're right in a medical sense. But to me, personally, music has saved my life many times over. I mean, many times over. On a quality of life perspective, on a kindness perspective, on a hope for the future perspective.
Yeah. And I was going to say that.
Yeah, huh?
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Okay,
for bailing
I'll
me
give
out.
that one to you.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you for being here.
No, seriously though, Michael has. You've done so much for YMU,
Yes.
and even as somebody who met you much later in life than Sammy, I've been.
But I will say this.
Tell me.
How about this one?
Tell me.
You know, in a time when we can't count on our government to even make sure schools are safe, right? There's no way in hell they're going to fund music programs. So, and I learned the importance of music and the effect that it has on self-esteem and all the things that I said, and a profound, lasting effect on our family. So I would always ask people to support a foundation that meant so much to the growth and development of our son, you know, so.
That was worth the wait. You
And it's
nailed
not
it.
just about the music, really. It's all those other things. The music is fine.
Yeah.
You are right. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you for all you've done for YMU over these years. Thank you for being here with us today. Thanks for shouting out Give Miami today
Yeah,
on the
man.
radio. Thanks for all you do to bring funds into YMU. We're truly grateful.
You're the best.
As I am to you guys.
Appreciate it.